I went the extra mile, so I didn't care. I didn't even realise sometimes when I was driving home what time it was, to be honest. I left work when I was tired. And that's what it takes. These kids today, this generation, or people that are that 9 to 5 can't expect to matriculate or expand in their or advance if they're 9 to 5 and they're just exchanging their time for money. So them becoming softies, I think you'll see that the ones that go the extra mile will develop in their career. This 9 to 5, these entitlements. You look at Singapore and other advancing nations, say that to them, I mean, that they wouldn't even understand.
Generally speaking, the stock market is now 15%.
I don't think in my role, whether someone's paid 50 grand or whether they're paid $1 million, whether I would, in this day and age, to walk into an employer, new job, and say, look, you're paying me X, Y, Z, big money, car, whatever the case. I just, the way I'm wired, I could make sure you don't call me at 5:05. I don't know, I'm just not wired that way. In my world, if it's important, I get people calling me all over the world, on a Sunday morning. It happens, not a lot, but it's important data. So, I just find that fascinating. It's just what Victoria needed. So I've thought about it very carefully, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it on the basis that under our employment agreements as of Monday, everyone in our entire network, that adversely is that we will have a commitment back to our employees going forward for our network not to contact them after 5 o'clock. Now, under my view going forward is that as long as they agree that under their employment agreement, if they're actually within between 9 and 5, caught on social media, spending time and doing any personal thing outside of their entitlement lunch hours, that they also would be penalised or there'd be a warning in relation to their employment agreement. So I'm all for it. 9 to 5, they're the trade terms, but adversely, it'd be interesting to see actually how, and what it will do for people like me, is bump up surveillance with our IT department to see actually how productive these people are, because we'll be watching for personal laid down time, non-active mouse use, social media, email. So that means that we'll have access to their, for a guy like me, we'll just beef up on technology. So I'm all for it, because 9 to 5's been the term, or whatever the trade terms are between an employer. So that's from a governance and compliance and industrial relations matter. Getting back to the first, circling back, is that what does that breed? Does that breed complacency and entitlements for employees? Well, it certainly does. I don't know how many bosses call or pester their employees after 5 o'clock. I mean, I think there are a percentage, but is it 5 or 10%? What precipitated? Who came up with this idea? Once again, who came up with this? How much were there complaints about employees getting called and harassed at 7:30 at dinner time? I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see that data from all different sectors. I mean, if it came out there was 20% that employees were getting called at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, well, they've made their decision at Spring Street.